In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Rakshasa is described as a dignified race of cat-faced humanoid fiends, typically with the face and body of a tiger. However, this form was rarely seen, as the Rakshasa were adept sorcerers and illusionists who, like the doppelganger, could change their form at will and disguise themselves as other humanoids. They were often regarded as outsiders, creatures from beyond the material plane with no true connection to it or the elemental planes. As such, the Rakshasas in the material planes are not truly there, as their true selves are immortal fiendish spirits that take on a flesh form when in the material plane. When slain, a Rakshasa returns to their clan in the outer planes, only to return again one day with no loss of powers or memory, eager to hunt down those who slew them. Only by killing them on the lower planes, such as the Hells or the Abyss, could a person be sure that they had truly been destroyed. The Rakshasa has an AC of 16 and 110 hit points, as well as a speed of 40 feet. They have a +2 to strength, a +3 in dex, a +4 in constitution, a +1 in intellect, a +3 in wisdom, and a +5 in charisma, with a +10 to the deception skill and a +8 to insight, making them incredible liars. They're vulnerable to magical piercing weapons wielded by a good aligned creature, but are immune to non-magical weapons. They have limited magical immunity, meaning that they cannot be affected by any spell of 6th level or lower, unless they choose to be, like a healing spell or other beneficial effect. Rakshasas are innate spellcasters with a spell save of 18 and a +10 to hit. They can cast Detect Thoughts, Disguise Self, Mage Hand, and Minor Illusion all at will, and can cast Charm Person, Detect Magic, Invisibility, Major Image, and Suggestion 3 times per day. They can also cast Dominate Person, Fly, Plane Shift, and True Seeing once per day each. In addition to all of their spells, the Rakshasa has a claw attack that they can use twice per turn. It has a +7 to hit and deals 2d6 +2 slashing damage. Anyone hit by them is cursed and plagued by nightmares that forbid them from gaining the benefits of a short or long rest. This curse can only be removed via Remove Curse or other similar spells. As a DM, I believe that the Rakshasa embodies both an RP-heavy stalker and a robust spellcaster when in combat. Its at-will spells are all about it gaining information and keeping itself hidden, using Detect Thoughts to track the party's progress and plans, while using Disguise Self to become other people. Being immune to 6th level spells and lower gives the Rakshasa a huge advantage on staying hidden, as Detect Magic, Scrying, and other such spells will have no effect. Pairing this with its 3-time use of spells like Invisibility allows it to stalk players and figure out who needs to die first. This being said, in combat, the Rakshasa is no pushover like other stalker creatures. Now that it knows who to target, I would have it open any combat encounter by casting True Seeing so it can't be tricked by illusions, and then casting Dominate Person on the person it has deemed to be the weakest mentally. This is typically your tankiest player. If this works, the Rakshasa now has an ally on the enemy team. The next part of the Rakshasa's strategy should be to use their claws on healers and melee players first. With their immunity to lower level spells, wizards and spellcasting DPS will have very little to hurt them, and taking out a cleric or a paladin first will be essential to them winning the fight. Once the more dangerous players are down, the Rakshasa could use Fly to close distances with ease, and take down the rest one by one. If the battle is going poorly for the Rakshasa, I would have them use Plane Shift to get out of there. If all else fails and they're unable to escape, I would have them use their claws to strike as many players as possible, fighting until dead. Anyone who is hit by their claws will be affected by the curse, and unable to gain the benefits of a short or long rest. This might create the perfect opportunity for the Rakshasa, its allies, or other villains in your campaign to strike against your party when they're weak. In mythology, the Rakshasa are a race of malevolent demigods with Hindu origins. In the Brahmanda Purana, they were brought into existence by the creator god Brahma when he assumed a body of darkness. They're often shown as man-eating bestial humanoids who can shapeshift and trick mortals with magic. They're usually depicted as vaguely humanoid with large fangs and bestial traits, stricken with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The most powerful of them are shown as having flaming red hair and eyes, drinking blood from chalices, their cupped hands, or from mortal skulls, motifs very similar to both Western and Eastern depictions of vampires. They were said to have the ability to fly, shapeshift, create illusions, and vanish without a trace, and in several Hindu epics they would enter battlefields when the slaughter was at its peak, bathing in and consuming the blood of mortals and divas alike. They're often referred to as embodiments of evil and sin, and tend to be vicious soldiers in the armies of evil people and deities in Hindu lore. In comparing the myth to the monster, we find that the abilities and wickedness are the same. Both seem to have magical powers that aid them in tricking and beguiling mortals, and both of them are fiendish spirits that take the form of flesh when in the mortal world. However, the tiger imagery seems absent from most Hindu, Buddhist, and Jainist texts. This might be explained by a Q&A session with Gary Gygax text back in 2005, where he states that he was, quote, a fan of Kolchak the Night Stalker when it first aired, and sure enough they had Rakshasa as a monstrous evil on that show. The Rakshasa in the episode Horror in the Heights is a shape-shifting beast man who kills a bunch of elderly people near an Indian restaurant, and was slain by a couple of blessed crossbow bolts. Where Gary got the backwards hands and tiger motif specifically is anyone's guess. If you enjoyed that video, consider giving it a like and giving me a follow. And for more of my videos, you can find me on Twitch @Moglaroo, YouTube @Moglaroo Streams, and TikTok @Moglaroo Streams as well.